So now we're going to see how people deal with large expressions like this one. This one contains all sorts of things: parentheses, powers, multiplications, additions, divisions, subtractions. And in this case, the order of operation actually does matter. So we start with the parentheses, we follow with powers, we do multiplications and divisions, additions, subtractions from the left towards the right. Now this is just a convention that mathematician has put down. If you don't do it in that order, you will be getting a different number. Since we want to have one concrete number coming out of this, we need to follow that order of operations. So let's see what's going on here. As you can see, I have various parentheses, and I'm going to start with those. The first one says 3 minus 1 to the fourth. I only care about the 3 minus 1 in the parentheses, and that's the first thing I'm going to do. So the 3 minus 1 obviously gives you 2. So this is 2 to the fourth, and I'll do that later. Plus 10 divided by. I see a 2 squared plus 1. Well, the 2 squared, I'll have to do the powers first, gives you a 4. I'll do it slowly. I'll wait until the next step until I do the summation here. But once again, the order inside the parentheses follows the same thing that you see on the right. So first you do the powers, then multiplications, then additions. So I just did the power here. Same thing with this parentheses. It's 6 minus 2 squared. I'll just do the 2 squared, which gives me 4. And then in this parenthesis, you see 5 to the 0. Remember, all numbers to the 0, except of course 0 to the 0, give you 1. So 5 to the 0 gives me 1. And I'll leave this multiplication for later, the 3 times 2. All right, so in the second step, I will revisit it and look inside the parentheses and try to do multiplications, summations, and all that. And again, you're doing it from left to right. All right, so 4 plus 1 gives me 5. I don't really need this parentheses, but I'll keep it here for just a second to show you exactly how this 5 came about. And now I see two different parentheses. Let's worry first about the 6 minus 4. So the 6 minus 4 obviously gives you a 2 here. And then it's 1 minus 3 times 2. You don't do the difference first. You do the 3 times 2. That's going to give you a 6. So it's 1 minus 6. And I'll wait and do that later. All right, so once again, I'll leave this as they are, and I'll just worry about the parentheses. So I have the 3 times 2 to the fourth, leave it as it is, plus 10 divided by 5. Now, there's nothing that you need to do in this parentheses. You can just drop it. Also, this is minus 2 times 1 minus 6. Let's do the stuff in the parentheses. 1 minus 6 gives you, obviously, minus 5. And again, I'll use the parentheses here to show you that this minus 5 came from this subtraction. And for another reason, because we really don't put multiplication with negative sign right next to each other. We would like to keep them separate. Therefore, it's like a good notation to put this minus 5 in the parentheses. All right, so we're done with the parentheses. Now we're looking at the powers. The only power that I see is this 2 to the fourth. And that's the first thing that I'm going to compute. 2 to the fourth is, well, 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, so this is 16. And again, I could do this all at once, but I'm going to show it to you slowly. Then what we're trying to do is we're trying to do all the multiplication from left to right. So 3 times 16, that gives you 54, plus 10 times divided by 5, that gives you 2. And then here, you can either do it as minus 2 times minus 5, and understand that this is going to be plus 10, or do it as 2 times minus 5, which gives you minus 10, but with a minus up front, gives you the plus 10. In any case, the answer here is just plus 10. Okay, so we're done now with multiplications and divisions. What we need to do is additions and subtractions, once again starting from left to right. So 54 plus 2 is 56, plus 10 is 66. Right, and that's your final answer. Now, if you do not follow the same order of operations, you will be ending up with a different number right there. Since we want to have always the same number, you should be following these 4 things: parentheses, powers, multiplications, divisions, additions, subtractions, and inside the parentheses, again, the same thing.